Okay, so this church is very close to my heart. I used to live here in New York for 3 months, and I'm gonna tell you, if we have time at the end, I'm gonna tell you why I like this church, why I love people here. So I'm practicing in Canada, and I'm not a psychiatrist. I'm an addiction medicine specialist. Okay, I used to work as a psychiatrist in Egypt. Then I moved to Canada, and when I moved to Canada, I worked there as addiction counselor for 2 years until I get my certification as MD. Then I got my license as a family physician. Then I did more training, and then I got a license as addiction medicine specialist. And what I'm doing now, and most of my work is around addiction and mental health. So I have a program that serves people who have anxiety, depression, eating disorder, all these mental health problems, and also people who have addiction. And 20% of my time I still do some family practice. I'm also a lecturer at the University of Calgary School of Medicine. So what we're going to talk about today is overcoming negative thinking. But before we talk about this, I just want to make sure that you know, when we treat any psychiatric illness or any psychological problem, we need to work on all these parts. The problem in North America, most of doctors now, what they do, they give medication. If you have experience with it, if you go to any doctor, tells them, oh, I have depression, I have an anxiety, I have this, I can't sleep. The first approach will be medication. Okay, but I don't see this is working. The medication can help maybe 20%. Maybe 30% of the problem, but to get a full treatment, you need to be working on this. And this is what I do in Canada. I help my patient to get biological treatment, psychological, social, and spiritual. What I mean by biological treatment, I mean that people need to take care of their body. This is a physical part. So they need to take care of their exercise program, diet, sleep hygiene. Okay. I'll give you an example. If you don't sleep well, when you wake up, how do you feel, do you think? If you don't have enough sleep, how do you feel? What? Tired? Yeah, and psychologically, how are you going to feel? Cranky, yes? Yeah, some people will feel restless, some people will feel irritable, right? Okay? Some people will become more anxious, and if you have genetic predisposition to mental illness like depression, some people will get depressed. I'm talking about sleep. If you don't sleep well for a month, okay, you're gonna manifest symptoms related to psychological illness. That's why I make sure my patient, they have a sleep routine. Do you think how many hours we should sleep?
9.
8, 9. Yeah, 7. Yeah, like 7 to 8 hours. Okay, this is okay. What about exercise? Do you think how much should we exercise? How many minutes a day or how many minutes a week?
150 a week.
Yeah, 150 a week.
150 minutes.
Yes. Are you a doctor? You're a doctor. No. Yeah, we need at least 150 minutes of cardio exercise. And this is what we're gonna elevate your mood, because this release something called endorphins, and this gonna make you feel good. Okay, so exercise is important too. And diet. Yeah, I'm not gonna go into details, but diet is important. You need to drink lots of water, focus more on vegetables, try to limit animal protein. There are so many studies that show that animal protein causes colon cancer. Animal protein can worsen your cholesterol if you have high cholesterol. People who are vegetarians, they live longer. And in Coptic Church, we know our fasting is mainly vegetarian, and all studies have proven that vegetarian diet is better for physical health, also mental health. Anyway, this is the psychological part. Part of the treatment, this is the biological. Part of the treatment would be medication. You need some medication. Some people, in certain cases, we need medication, antidepressant, anti-anxiety, mood stabilizer. The second part is psychological. Okay, if you don't feel well, you need some psychological treatment. And I mean by psychological, some people will need individual therapy, some people will need group therapy. One of the most effective treatment is something called the CBT. Have you heard about? Did anyone ever heard about this one?
Yeah.
Yeah. What is this one?
Cognitive.
Yeah, cognitive behavioral therapy. Another one is called the dialectical behavioral therapy. Okay, and most of these therapy it works on changing your thoughts. When your thoughts are changed to be positive, you will have positive feeling, and when you have positive feeling, you will have positive behavior. But the basic for treatment, you need to be at least journaling. You know, you need to have a notebook and journal your feeling every day. It is a therapeutic and also protective. What should I write? Okay, what should I write? Yeah, it's just your thoughts, your feeling, and your action. Also, if you have psychological problem, you need to be talking. Okay, talking about your feeling, to share your feeling. Another part of the treatment is social. Okay, which is this part. You need people around you to talk to express your feeling. No man is an island. You can't live by yourself. And in North America, we see huge social disconnection and spiritual disconnection. If you ask me why there is rising numbers of overdose, addiction, mental illness, because of these two. Social disconnection, spiritual disconnection. That's why, in my program, I started with one group therapy. But it ended up now we have 6 group therapy. We have a group therapy on Monday. We have a group therapy Tuesday, Thursday, Wednesday. The whole week we have group therapy. Why? Because of the social disconnection. And just to get people to sit together and talk and express their feeling. Yeah, we use some techniques, but it is like a meeting like this, and people talk about their problems. The last part of the treatment is spiritual. Okay? Why do you think we should include this part as part of treatment of this? Why? Why spirituality should be part of this?
Spiritual people tend to live longer on average.
Yes, they live longer. But I don't want you to come to come to the church with this intention. Okay, I'm going to the meeting because the doctor told me, okay, if you attend church, you're gonna live longer. No, we find there is association between spiritual people and how many years they live. What else? Why spirituality is important for this? Yes.
It's your sense of purpose.
Yeah, give you a sense of purpose. Yes. What else? Okay. When I start talking about the spirituality with my patient, they ask me why you are including this. I know biological, okay, I agree with you. Psychological, I agree with you. Social is important too, but spiritual, why? I tell them, all studies have shown people who have spirituality or are connected with their spirituality, they can discover their true self. Yeah, people who connect with a higher power. Okay, in North America, some people now are offended by the word God for many reasons. So now they tended to use the word higher power or higher intelligence. Okay, and as a therapist, I use the word that makes them happy. Okay, higher power, higher intelligence. But when they trust a higher power and they connect with this higher power, they discover their true self. They feel supported and not alone. And also they feel peace, love, joy. What are these? Yeah, fruits of the spirit. And this is what I want. They come to see me, they feel sad, they want to feel happy. Okay, when they connect with their spirituality, they feel peace, they feel love, they feel joy. And then when we come to asking about how I'm going to connect with my spirituality. Okay, as Christian, we have a religion, right? This is our way. We have Christian principles to connect with our spirituality. But people in general, there's so many ways to connect with their spirituality. Research have shown, not just people live longer, no, people who connect with their spirituality, they have lower blood sugar, lower cholesterol, they have less anxiety, less depression, less eating disorder, less addiction. And even if a spiritual person develop addiction or depression, they recover faster than non-spiritual. Okay, so there is association, strong association with positive mental health and the spirituality. Plus the physical part too. Okay, our topic today is about overcoming negative thinking. And this is part of the cognitive behavioral therapy, which some of you is aware of. In cognitive behavioral therapy, what we do, if we change your thoughts, and we are hoping that your feeling will change, and then your feeling will change, it's going to change your behavior. I'm going to give you one example. If I have an exam, like a very difficult exam, and I start thinking in a negative way, oh, this is a difficult exam, I can't pass this test, and then the thoughts escalate more, oh, I am a failure, I can't do it. What do you think would be the feeling if I have these thoughts?
Hopeless.
What's that?
Hopeless.
Hopeless? Yeah, what else? Hopeless, what else?
You're going to convince yourself that you're not capable of
Yes.
doing the best, so you're not going to do good.
Yeah, it may end not just feeling, it may end with a behavior, you're not going to do the test, okay? Because I'm a failure, I can't do it. So this can end with a negative behavior or negative action. And if you have this attitude, okay, everything you try to catastrophize and exaggerate, I am a failure, I can't do it. And then if you started a business, I am a failure, I can't do it. Okay, it's gonna end up with so many negative feelings. It could be irritability, restlessness, it could be depression, it could be anxiety, anything. Usually the negative feeling is gonna end up with negative behavior, negative. And if you keep doing this in relationship, if you keep doing this in exams, if you keep doing this when you do a business or you start a business, this is gonna become a habit. And the habit will become your personality. So this cognitive behavioral therapy, how we use this to help patients, we change their thoughts. Okay, we try to identify what are the negative thoughts or irrational thoughts, and then we replace it with more rational thoughts. And also it is a biblical principle. I don't know if you know this verse. Okay, you can be transformed by renewing your mind. If you want to change really, if you want to change your behavior, you need to change your thoughts. Maybe in Buddhism, if you study different religion, in Christianity we focus more here. In Buddhism they focus more here. Don't know if you know meditation and the let go of negative feeling, but as Christian we focus more how we think, and hopefully this will change how we feel, and this is going to change how we act. I have a question with you. Do you think we can choose our thoughts or not? Because this guy was thinking, oh, I'm going to fail, I'm a failure, I'm a loser. Okay, do you think we choose our thoughts, or is it automatic, or what is happening? Yes?
Well, I think initially you can't really control it, but then you can control the thought afterwards, and that's actually what really defines you as a person.
Yes, so the thoughts come, then you try to control it and replace it. This is what you mean?
Yeah.
Okay. What about feelings? Can we change feeling?
Yeah.
Can we change it? Okay. Do you have control over feeling? Okay. Which is easier to control, the feeling or the thoughts? Yes. Okay. Can I ask you to do something? Can you close your eyes? And I want you, while you're closing your eyes, I want you to imagine a discussion between you and your dad. Just think about the discussion between you and your dad. Then I want you to imagine that you are in your friend's house, your best friend's house. So can you open your eyes? Can you do this? Can you bring me thoughts about certain things? Yes, you can do this. Okay, I want you to close your eyes again. Okay, I want you to feel angry. Feel angry. I want you to feel depressed. Can you do it? Yeah, open your eyes. No, you can't do this one. You know, you can bring thoughts, yes. But can you bring a feeling? You know, to bring a feeling, you need to bring some thoughts first. You know, I need to think about something, a scenario that make me angry, then I'm gonna get angry. So I'm just, while we're doing this, I'm just wanna, you know, I want you to know that we can change, okay, we can change our thoughts, but it's very difficult to change our feelings without changing our thoughts. Okay, to summarize how we change our thinking, you know, the world around you will give you some events. Some of them are negative, some of them are positive, some of them are neutral. This is what happens in your life. Some events you will see them as positive, some events you will see them as neutral, some of them I see as positive. Then you're going to use your mind to how to interpret these events. Oh, this is a catastrophe, this is a disaster, or this is just a problem and I can solve it. Anyway, so the world will give you events, some challenges, the way you look at them, this is how you think. But the problem when you have negative thoughts, it cannot change how you feel. So again, with CBT or cognitive behavioral therapy, we try to change our thoughts, to change our feeling. Because our feeling can end up with positive behavior or negative behavior. This guy is that I was talking about, who have a difficult exam and he decided, okay, I'm not gonna do it. You agree with me, he's gonna end up with negative feeling. You wanna call it depression, that's fine. You're gonna call it an anxiety, it's fine. So if you keep accumulating this negative feeling inside, you can come up with a clinical diagnosis. It may end up you going to your doctor telling him, oh, I feel I have depressed mood, I lost interest in doing everything, my concentration is not that great now, I have a sleep problem, I have appetite problem, and this, we call all these symptoms clinical depression. And you will need treatment for this. Okay, so what I want you to know, if your thoughts keep in the negative direction, it's gonna end up with negative feeling, and this negative feeling can end up with a clinical diagnosis, which will need a medication, which will need therapy. So you better work more on your thoughts. How I'm gonna work with this? Yeah, a therapist can help you with this, but as a start point, you can just journal. Every day, I want you to journal your feeling and your thoughts, and look at them, if this is rational or irrational. Is this enough? No, I would suggest you share it with someone you trust. Maybe a Buna, maybe some a spiritual teacher, or someone, a servant, someone you trust. Tell him, what do you think? What do you think? It doesn't need a therapy. No, tell you, oh, you overgeneralize, or why you thinking blank and white, or why you are doing this. So you need, when you have some thoughts and you don't know what to do, start with journaling your thoughts, then share it with someone you trust. Okay, so we said if you have negative thoughts and negative feeling, it can end up with a psychiatric problem. Also, it can lead to social problems. Okay, because if you have lots of negative feeling, you're gonna start snapping at people. Okay, and you'll be angry, and you will be easily triggered, easily irritated, and this is gonna end lots of your relationship with others. Also, it can end up with physical problems. I have lots of patients, it started with an anxiety, now they have tension headache, or now they have high blood pressure, or some people will come complaining about tingling or numbness in their hand. And all this is related to an anxiety. I have some patients say, oh, I have chest pain. And this is all an anxiety. Some people, I have dizziness. So the psychological problem can end up with a clinical diagnosis, a psychiatric problem, can end up with social problems, problems at work, problems at home, problems at school. It can end up with a physical problem. I'm gonna skip this one. So we are talking today about the negative thinking, which ends up with negative feeling. One of the most common negative thinking that we see is this one, black and white. Does anyone know what this means? Black and white thinking? What does it mean? When someone, this is one of the negative thinking or irrational thinking, or we call it cognitive distortion. What does it mean? Black and white. Okay, so people who, yes? People who think are black and white, they only see life black and white. Only bad and good, right and wrong. They don't see the gray area of life. So I have some patients, they come telling me, oh, you are the best doctor in the city. I like you, they told me you are the best. Okay, so they see me now white. Okay, then if someday I'm behind, they come telling me, oh, so you are the worst doctor in the city. Okay, this is the black and white thing. Okay. Do you think this can cause problems? Why this can cause problems? Why? Like this lady who come, and I'm talking about lots of my patients, they have this black and white thinking. They come to me, you are the best. Then I do one error. Okay? Yeah, I am the worst. Yes. These people tend to think in extremes. These people tend to think they don't have any middle ground. Yes.
I think because you don't see the big picture, you don't analyze in a deep way what that thing or that person actually is, like considering he's in a bad mood or made a mistake or in a good mood doing something good.
Yes. So he's meaning, you don't see the person as a whole. People, anyone have some weakness and strength. Okay, maybe I'm good doctor caring, but maybe all the time I'm behind. Okay, so patient if the patient is not able to see my weakness and strength, okay, and he see me only total weakness or total strength, we call this black and white. I'll give you a real example from some of my patients. I have a patient, she's a very good mother. She cares about her kids, she's doing great. Then one day, she forgot to prepare the lunch for her kids. Okay? Then she come telling me, oh, I am a bad mother. I'm the worst mother ever. So she was seeing herself as white. All of a sudden, now she sees herself as a bad mother. Anyway, it escalated and she become depressed because this is the way she see life, black and white. Another patient, he was a straight A student. Always get A. One course he got B. Okay, he come telling me, now I'm a total failure. So you see, he was seeing himself as completely white. All of a sudden, it become black. And I told you about this one. I'm the best doctor in the city. I'm the worst. All of a sudden, I am the worst doctor in the city. So I wanna just make sure that you know that if you are thinking this way, okay, it can cause lots of problems. And this negative thinking can end. Most of these patients that I'm putting here, they are struggling with anxiety and depression because they are thinking this way. And life in general is in the gray area. Yeah, there is some extremes. If you kill people, if you are killing people every day, yeah, I can tell you this is black. Some people are extremely white, yes. If you are Mother Teresa, yeah, white. But most of us in the gray area, okay? And everything in life in the gray. I don't know if you have a pendulum, okay? You know the pendulum of the clock, okay? If the pendulum try to stay in the middle most of the time, even on behavioral level. Should I starve to death or eat like an animal? Starve to death or eat like an animal? What do you think? Yeah, it is okay to fast. It is okay to fast periodically, yes. But don't do this and don't do this. Even in a relationships, okay? If your new partner should too close or too far, like should we be eating together, okay, working together, okay, hanging out together, have the same friends, taking shower together, everything together, okay? Do you think this is a good relationship? It's gonna protect the relationship? No. Should we be too far, like not talking at all for a month? No, it should be in the middle. Okay? If you want to float to the top, you should be in the middle. And I have some examples that we do. I'm trying, avoid this black and white, not just in the thinking, but also in behavioral level. Should I accept reality or change reality? Like people around me, should I accept them as they are, okay, or work to change them? No, it is in the middle. Not totally this one, or not totally this one. Should I be working 24 hours 7, or resting 24 hours 7? Should be the middle, right? Should I be open all the time? Share all my personal information to all people around me? Or should I be private all the time? It's in the middle, right? Okay. Should I trust people all the time? No, shouldn't. Okay. Should I be suspicious of everyone around me? Yes. You see, you know. Yes, yeah. But you see this, yes, you should be suspicious, you should be paranoid all the time, you don't know what, this is a black and white. Should I follow my heart or my mind?
Your mind, not your heart.
This one is a black and white thing. No, to be a successful, you need to balance between the heart and the mind.
Yeah, but heart, I think mind goes first.
Yes, okay, mind goes first, I agree with you.
Use your heart.
Yeah, you use, so you end up, yes. Even in feeling, okay, one second. Okay, when you're feeling, go to the extremes. Okay, if you feel too sad, if you find yourself depressed, try not to stay there. Okay, bring this to the middle. But how are we going to do this? If you feel too sad, what should we do? Can you tell me if someone have feeling of unhappiness or restlessness or irritability, what should we do to bring this in the middle?
Change your thoughts.
Yeah, one of them is change your thoughts and journal about it. What else?
Do something different.
Do something different. Like what? Service, yes. A hobby, yes. What else?
Pray about it.
Pray about it, yeah. So you see, you can include, you included the social part. He's trying to include the spiritual part. What else if I'm too sad? And why we want to move to the middle? Because if you stay here for a long time, okay, you're going to end up with depression, clinical depression. Yeah, and some people will stay here and they can't move to the middle because of their genes. And then we need, more treatment like medical treatment, medication and stuff. But most of people, when they feel sad, they can do some stuff in their life to bring this to the middle. So some people talk about service, some people talk about pray about it.
Also traveling.
Traveling, have a hobby, what else?
Exercise.
Yeah, exercise. Yes, when you feel too sad, you need to exercise. What else?
Maybe help people.
Yeah, go and help people. Yeah, this is a very important one.
Yeah.
You know, I work with addicts. Most of the time I work with people with addiction. I found something. Not the love I give to them that's gonna change them. The love they give to others. Again, most of people, if you have someone have negative behavior, it's addiction or non-addiction, it is not the love you give to them that's gonna change them. It is the love they're gonna give to others. That's why I said I bring them in a group and I ask them help each other, support each other. Okay, the love they give, they make them change. So helping others is part of to feel good about yourself. What else?
But just a second, I just want to challenge the idea of like how you can scale, like, yeah, this is too much that I want to do something else. And I believe all the suggestions like traveling and all this stuff, like sometimes like you're trying to run away from something that you have to sit and reflect and process it. Like instead of just running away, doing service, doing all this stuff, yeah, it helps. But sometimes we all the time tend to do all the things to run away from a pain that we have to sit with it, sadness that we have to sit with it, and run away, just do anything else, just like use your phone, whatever, because it's too much and it's gonna make you depressed at the end. But it's for a reason. It's here for a reason. So I don't know if it's how you can scale it. Like how can you measure it? Like,
Yeah. Okay, I'll tell you something. Let's say you are at work or at school and you feel depressed.
Yeah.
Okay? You need some techniques, okay, to let this feeling go. So sometimes people will journal about it. Some people will meditate, like they will do the breathing exercise. I don't know if you have done this before or not. Maybe before we end this session, I'm gonna teach you how to do breathing exercise. But also you need, okay, you can escape from your feeling, okay, as a start, but you need also this step. This is very important one. To feel your feeling, give your feeling a name. If this is anger, if this is depression, if this is anxiety, and journal about it. And when you journal about it, also you can share about it. So we need some time, yes, you need some time to distract yourself, and also you need some time to process your feeling and feel your feeling and connect with your feeling. Which one should be, we should do both. There has to be some time we connect with our feeling, and there has to be some time we just distract ourselves from our feeling. But we know intellectually that we are just distracting until we go home and sit by ourselves and we journal about it. Okay, so we need both. Yes. But you know, some people, I would have some patient, okay, they limit, okay, I feel sad, I'm gonna process my feeling, but I'm gonna do this for half an hour a day. Because I have some patient, you know, they stay, okay, I'm gonna feel my feeling, and they stay 3 hours staying at home, or 4 hours just feeling their feeling. Yes, and they and they are getting into the black and white. Okay, the doctor told me process your feeling. Okay, let's say.
I'm just gonna process forever.
You know, I'm gonna feel it and think about it. So this to stay here for long time, this is not healthy. But also to stay here long time is not healthy. But to be too happy, you need to remind yourself, this too shall pass. Okay, this too shall pass, the bad feeling, but that you need to remind yourself that even if you have a positive moment, remind yourself that it will not continue as this. Okay, and you better bring it a little bit, but just intellectually. So if you have a vacation and you look forward to most of my patients who have addiction, they relapse after a vacation. Oh, because they are doing drugs? No. Because they were feeling too happy during the vacation, and they look forward to the vacation. Once they come back and see the reality, they get so depressed. Because I can tell you, any high, there is low after any high. So when you go too high, like if you do cocaine, high, but after cocaine next day, you'll be very low. If you drink too much on Saturday night, On Sunday you have a hangover. So after any hike, even with the vacation, going to Mexico. I don't know, people go to Mexico. Okay, so going to Mexico. You want to, remind yourself, this is just a vacation. This is temporary, and you're gonna end. Yes. Yeah.
I feel like sometimes also our situation is what causes us to be depressed. So sitting and kind of contemplating the situation where it might just make it worse. So a lot of times I think it's very healthy to remove yourself from that situation and put yourself in a better one, even if it's just for a short amount of time, or if it's something as drastic as like a career change because your career is making you very depressed or something like that.
Yes, okay. So it's talking about, let's say you have a situation. We don't know if this is just my field or if this is really the situation is bad. And this is very hard for patient to have an anxiety or depression. It is very hard to decide if this is me or this is the situation. If I'm in a relationship, okay, if this is the relationship, we need to end this relationship, or if this is just me, how I feel about it. Okay, to judge, to tell where is the balance, what should I do, you need other people around you. Okay, you can't live this life without others. That's why, it is a good opportunity that we have at church, that we can sit and we have a mentor, okay, that we can talk to, okay, because there is so many things in life, you can't do it by yourself. So if you have a situation, you can, if you want to assess it, this is me, this is the situation, and I have a rule, okay, if you have a difficult situation, try to solve it, okay, the problem, solve it. If you can't solve it, try to avoid it. If you can't solve it or avoid it, accept it. There is so many things in life that you need just to accept. I'll give you an example. I have sleep apnea. I don't know if you know about sleep apnea. I stop breathing when I am sleeping. Okay. So I have a machine when I sleep every night. I have a machine that I put, and I can't sleep without this machine. I did everything that people can do to avoid this machine. I see ENT doctor, I saw this doctor, I tried to do a surgery to avoid this machine that I sleep with. And then nothing was working. And I had to just wear this machine. And even if I'm moving from Canada, coming here to visit, I bring the machine with me. Okay? And I was so disappointed, I was so frustrated that I'm gonna live with this machine for the rest of my life. Okay? So I was struggling maybe for 2 years or 3 years with anger. But once I accepted the machine, now I love the machine. And my wife, she loves it. Okay? Till now I'm married to two. I'm married to you and the machine. Everywhere we go with the machine. No, so, if you have a problem, okay, and remember this for life. Try to solve it. I know you are young people, you have dreams, you have plans, but life is full of challenges. Okay, you have a problem, 3 rules. Try to solve it. Yes.
Sorry, could I check this? It sounded like you were trying to solve it by going to different ENTs. So I think what you were saying is you tried to solve it, and if not, then you accept it. I feel like avoid is part of that running away thought of, let's say I'm depressed about something in my job, and you try to solve it, but if you can't, if you avoid certain people or things in your job, that I feel like it's still, you're still gonna, you just have to accept it at that point. It makes sense to you.
Yes. So you try to solve the problem, maybe try to find another job.
Yeah.
Okay. Maybe try to change your department to another department.
Yeah.
But if you are stuck, okay, and you can't find because the economy or because whatever reason, and you are stuck, okay, accept it and enjoy it.
I guess maybe the question is, what do you mean by avoid it? So you try to solve,
you are at work, you have problems, you try to solve them, okay?
Right.
But then if you can't find a solution that make everyone happy, you can avoid, you find another job, avoid the whole situation. You try leave the job, okay? But what if you don't have a source of income and you don't have another job opportunity? Okay, so you accept it and be happy with it. And also another thing that I wanna tell you about which one?
There is a question over there.
Yes.
Yeah. So, in regards to the high and the low part, what if you're in that high and everything's going well, but when you're too anxious to enjoy everything that's happening because you're worried that something else, like something bad will happen? It's not like a diagnosis that, but how do you deal with something like that?
Yeah, this thinking pattern is very common. When you are in the good situation, okay, what if it's something negative? And some people will associate, they say, it is also in Egyptian culture. If something good happen, like too good happen, you know, there's something too bad gonna happen.
Yeah.
Okay, so this is also happening. Okay. Yeah. This is part of our culture. But you need, okay. First, you need to see that this is a cognitive distortion. This is an irrational thinking. That if something positive happened in my life, this means something is coming is negative. No, you need to journal about it. When you are going on vacation, okay, I'm gonna enjoy the vacation, but I know that this vacation is just for a week. Okay, I will be back to work or I will be back to school, but I'm not expecting a disaster to happen. So you just journal. If this is a pattern you're struggling with, or you know someone who's struggling with, you just journal about it, and you'll be easy to replace it. And if it is, you know, if any of this negative thinking, you see it as a pattern, and you have difficulty changing it, I would suggest seeing a therapist. There are so many techniques how to change this. But I'm not going to go into details, but at least you journal about it. Did I answer your question?
When you're journaling, are you saying, I'm going to try to not think that way, or you're just saying how you feel right now?
Yeah, you're going to say, first you say how you feel right now, okay? Give your feeling a name, okay? Put it in paper, and then look at the thoughts behind this way of feeling. So let's say you went to a vacation, everyone is happy, but you are depressed. So you ask, you write, okay, I'm feeling depressed, everyone is happy, but I'm feeling depressed. But why am I feeling depressed? Oh, because I'm expecting something bad gonna happen. Okay, so then you write, oh, because I'm expecting something bad gonna happen. Okay, then look at it, is this rational? Look in the past, it's always, I went to a vacation where I was expecting something bad happened, it didn't happen. Yeah, sometimes something happened, but there is no association between a vacation or something good is happening, we're gonna end up with negative. If we have a problem, what we're gonna do?
Solve it.
Yeah.
Solve it, avoid it, accept it.
Yes. Solve it, avoid it, or accept it. Okay. Solve it, avoid it, or accept it.
And vacation or changing your mind help you to think better for a solution to this problem.
Yes, you can take some time off to think about a solution for the problem.
Yeah, without, he said that we run out of the problems. We don't run, it's like when we travel or we do something better, it helps our mind to be thinking better of solution to these kind of problems.
Yes.
That's
Can-
that.
Yes. Can I tell you a story I like? Okay. The farmer story. I don't know if you know this story. Does anyone know the farmer story? Okay. Because we are talking about problems now, okay? And some people, you know, one of the negative thinking is magnification or catastrophizing. Something negative happened, oh, this is horrible, this is terrible, this is the end of my life. And we call this catastrophizing. Okay. But do you really know what is good or bad? I want you to reflect on this story. You're going to learn something from this story. So there was a farmer, okay? He had a big farm. And he was living with his son in this farm. And this farmer, he has one horse to help him with the farming and the stuff in the farm. One day he wake up, he finds the horse is not in the farm. So maybe the horse ran away or something happened, he didn't know. Anyway, when this happened, the farmer was wise. He didn't feel sad. He just said, I don't know if this is good or bad. I don't know. But the neighbors come to visit. Tell him, oh, what is your horse? He told them, the horse ran away. I don't know. Oh, this is bad. This is too bad. This is unfortunate. How are we going to live? Who's going to help you with this farm? Just you and your son. This is not enough. He told them, no. I don't know if this is good or bad. I don't know. Anyway, after a week, the farmer, within this week, the farmer was working just by himself and the son. After a week, the horse came back with 20 other horses. 20 horses. So I don't know, this horse went somewhere and you get to know other horses and bring all the... So anyway, the farmer now have 21 horses. The neighbors come, oh, look at you, now you lost one horse, but now you have 21 horse, lucky you. Then the farmer was wise, and he told them, I don't know if it is good or bad, I don't know. No, he told them, no, this is good. This is good, you're lucky. Anyway, these horses was very wild, they are wild horses, so that the son was trying to train them or tame them or work with them. While the son is doing this, the son fell down, broke his leg. So anyway, the neighbors come telling him, oh, look at you, you got 21 horse, but look at your son. He has a broken leg now. He told them the same thing. I don't know if this is good or bad. I don't know. No, this is bad. Your son is broken leg. This is bad. You're going to put a cast and you will not be able to walk for like 2 months. He told them, I don't know. Anyway, after a month, there was a war, a big war in this area. Okay? And the government was trying to recruit young people from every village, from every city. Then they come to this village and they take all the young people. Come. You need to fight with us. But they look at this poor guy, he has a broken leg. He told them, no, you cannot come with us. Anyway, this war was a big war, and all young people in this war, they were killed during this war. Okay? No, it was sad for everyone, but it was good for him. Then anyway, the neighbors come to visit him. Oh, look at you, lucky you. All young people are dead here, except your son. He told them, I don't know if this is good or bad. Okay? I don't know. So you see where is the wisdom? You see where is the wisdom? That you don't, what was the original sin? Like, okay, Adam and Eve, what was the original sin? I will know what is good for me, what is bad. Okay, and this is, I will know. Okay, but this guy, yeah, he knows that he cannot know, he can't predict what is going to happen. So if you are like a straight A student, you get B in one course. Is it good or bad? I don't know. If it looks good, I don't know really if it is good or not. Look at this story. I want you to remember this story. Okay. When the one horse ran away, was this good or bad? When the horse ran away, was it good or bad?
It was bad in the beginning, but good in the end.
Yes, it was bad at the beginning, but it brings something good, right? Okay, then when he got 21 horses, was it good or bad? It was good, it looked good, but it ended up he broke his leg, right? Was it breaking his leg, was this good or bad? It looks bad, and if one of us, we're gonna freak out, and why is this happening to me? I'm gonna get the best surgeon in the city. Maybe he doesn't need this cast. I'm gonna fix it right away. And if you have money, you can get it fixed maybe within a week. But if you do this and you fight the flow of life, okay, or you fight what God has planned for you, it's gonna end so bad. So I want you, it is good to think about it. I told you, try to avoid the problem, try to solve the problem, But if God has a plan for you, He wants you to be in the problem, accept it. Why? Because you don't know if it is good or bad. Does it make sense? Okay, yes.
And I have a question. At what point you should stop trying to fix your problem?
Yes.
Like if you have a problem, maybe
There's
it's
no
like,
solution for it.
I mean, maybe it's like maybe you would think like I'll try to do this, I'll try to do that. But what point you have to like to just accept it?
Yes. That's why I tell my patient, okay, if you want to get better, okay, 1 second. If you want to get better, you need biopsychosocial spiritual, spiritual treatment. Because to answer for this question, I don't have an answer. But maybe if you have connection with your spirituality, you have a connection with God, you will know through your feeling, this is enough. Okay? So, and as I told you, that why there is a problem now, especially in North America with mental health and addiction, because of the spiritual disconnection and social disconnection. Because when people ask themselves, should I stop now or keep trying? Should I stop or keep trying? Okay? You need God to tell you what you should do, and you need others. You should have a mentor, you should have a Buna, father of compassion, to ask him, should I stop now or keep trying? And then a Buna will tell you, yeah, let's have a communion this week, okay? And I'll put your name on the altar, and we're gonna pray, and God will give you a sign. Okay? So sometimes we need a spirituality. But people will look at it, this is magic, or this is what, like this is nonsense, why you're doing this? But people will, especially people who have an anxiety or depression, they keep asking these questions, existential question. Well, why I'm here? What's the purpose of this life? What are the value? What are the directions? Should I go to Canada or US or go back to Egypt? You know, these kind of questions. Yeah, you need a spiritual connection. You need social connection. The answer to your question.
Yeah.
Okay. Because you bring this problem. What if I really have a problem, okay? And there is a problem, and I can't accept it. There is a problem, okay? Because I have some patients, when I tell them this story, they tell me, oh, this is very fluffy, okay? No, this is not the reality. So when you have a problem, try to do these 3 things. I told you, try to solve the problem, avoid the problem. If you can't, what are you going to do? Accept the problem. While you are accepting the problem, do this. See the problem as a teacher. Okay? What I'm learning from this problem. Like this guy is a farmer. He had lots of problems. But he can tell you, oh, I learned it from all these problems. But I don't know what is good or bad. Also, look at the problem as a protector. When this guy, he broke his leg, was this a protection? Yes. Because he couldn't end up dead if he didn't have this. So you might have a problem now in your life, okay? But it is a protection. Also, I want you to see the problem as a temporary thing. Okay? I tell my patient, this too shall pass. It might pass like a kidney stone, okay, but it will pass. So I want you, any problem you are having now is a temporary. What else we want to do? Have you ever heard about the worry tree? What is the worry tree? Okay. If you have a problem, any problem, ask yourself, if there is something I can do about it? If there's anything I can do about it? If the answer is no, okay, let go of the anxiety. Okay, you tell yourself, I don't have to be anxious. But what if you can't? No, there is something I can do about it. Okay, you ask yourself, oh, yeah, there is something you can do about it. Yeah, can you do it now? If yes, yeah, go ahead and do it. If no, put a realistic plan. Realistic plan to solve the problem. So again, if you have any problem in life, this is a problem. Whatever is a problem, ask yourself one question. Can I do something about it? Anything about it? If yes, put a plan. Put a realistic plan. If no, let go of that anxiety. Because if you, yes.
Sorry. I feel like it's really cliche to be
like if you don't have a problem, then let it go, because that's not exactly how it works most of the time. Like you can't exactly let it go, like when you have a problem. Like I understand that you should, but like I feel like it's way easier said than done. You can't really like.
Yes, but I'll tell you something. There are some techniques. There are some techniques. You wanna try?
Look after you.
Yeah,
Go
well,
ahead, no, please.
I don't know.
Well, I've been kind of thinking about that as everyone is talking, and a lot of times, especially with anxiety and with worries, what ends up happening is that with anxiety in particular, with worry, I'm sitting here and I'm going like, what if this happens? What if that happens? What if this happens? And what God has given me is this moment of me sitting here and being in this moment. And what I'm doing is I'm bringing all these options that could happen and I'm bringing them into my present. So I am actually bringing all those worries that could happen into a present. But what God has meant for me to do is live one moment at a time, not 7 or 8 options. So I get so overwhelmed because there's so much that's bombarding me with the thoughts and with the emotions. So when Dr. Nader says letting go, I'm taking those thoughts, every single one of them, and I can rationalize, does this make sense for this, that it could happen? Yeah. Is there a chance? Definitely. 50%, 80%? Do I actually know? I have no idea. God knows the future. I don't. So it takes a lot of practice, but it's the idea that I want to be here as opposed to in 7 different futures. That's what brings me to work. I don't know if that kind of
I mean, I see what you're saying.
Takes
I just feel
time.
like you can't really like if you're worried about something,
Right.
you can't just exactly like let it go.
And you're
Like,
right,
not
you
worry
can't just
about
sit
it.
here and go like, okay, I'm done, I'm good.
Yeah, like
No, it doesn't work. But it does need a lot of practice. It needs for me to go like, okay, this is the thought, this is what's going on. And what Dr. Nader was talking about, the processing. I'm taking every single thought and I'm bringing it and I'm analyzing it. I'm thinking about it. What's really making me worry? Can I give this to God? And after a while, and as I open my heart to people and to the Lord, then God can bring me peace in those moments. It's not just a personal effort, it's that combination, doing the work myself, the spiritual side of it, but it takes time. It's not a, I'm done, unfortunately. I hope that answers the question.
Yeah, but you need to learn, you need to learn some techniques to let the worry go. Okay, we agree that I have a problem. I can solve the problem. Okay, I can see the reality. I can solve it. Okay, but still I have the worry. Okay, you need to have a plan how you're going to handle this. Okay, some people will journal and this will make them feel good. Some people will use the breathing exercise. I don't know if you tried this. Okay, yeah, give it a try. What's the breathing exercise? You just close your eyes and breathe in, breathe out, and focus on your breathing. Okay, and we call this mindfulness. And some people use another technique when you are so worried. Let's say you have an oral exam. Okay, you're so worried, so worried. Okay, one of the mindfulness technique is to engage your senses in everything around you. So try, while you are sitting, if you are in a situation and you are worried too much, try to identify 5 things that you are seeing. So engage your vision in something. So if I'm worried now, if let's say I'm giving this talk and I'm worried, I'm gonna stand here, and try to identify what I'm seeing. Oh, so I'm seeing these guys, I'm seeing the light, I'm seeing this door, Then try to engage your hearing, Try to identify like 2 or 3 things that you are hearing. Like now I hear the door, I hear the fan, I hear someone is doing like this, so try to engage your hearing, so you engage your vision and engage your hearing. What else? Try to engage your touch sensation. Try to identify 2 things that you are touching. Maybe I'm touching this now, and the cloth, that shirt is touching me now, so I feel it. So I'm trying, this mindfulness technique is you engage all your senses and try to identify something you smell. And one more thing, try to identify something if you taste anything. You see what I'm doing? So we have 5 senses. Try to engage all your senses. So again, I'm talking about someone who is worried, have an oral exam, you want to do something. Engage your senses in everything. Try identify 5 things that you are seeing, identify 2 things that you are hearing, identify 3 things that you are touching, identify 1 thing that you are tasting, One thing is that you are smelling. That's it. You find this technique will help with the worry group, along with the breathing exercise.
I can see how this could work for somebody who, like a normal everyday person who experiences anxiety from factors that they see every day. But how about someone with an anxiety disorder? Like if you have, I feel like the point of labeling someone or diagnosing someone with an anxiety disorder is they're not physically able to do these things, or they do them and it doesn't work for them and they still experience anxiety. So I'm not, like, I don't know if that would actually work for someone with an anxiety disorder.
No, okay. So a patient comes to me, seeing me for an anxiety. Okay. I teach them all these techniques. Come telling me, oh, I can't use them, it's not working. This is a red flag. This is a red flag that he might need a medication. So I'm talking about behavioral and cognitive techniques, yes, but if someone has severe anxiety or severe generalized anxiety disorder, yeah, they might need a medication. Yes.
Since we're on medication, can you touch on CBD, the use of CBD in the treatment of people? Because it's a hot topic.
No, because
I think
I have 1,000 patients, 1,000 or maybe more on cannabis oil. So one of the most in the city where I work, I may be one of the doctors who started cannabis medical.
That's why you're the best, right?
Yeah, I think this is how I Can I do it? Okay. So. Yeah, I get invited to different places to talk about this. This is a medication or this is just a recreational substance, addictive substance. Do you want me to tell you if it's bad or good?
Say the truth.
Okay. So cannabis, okay. So marijuana, in Canada, marijuana is legalized recreationally. It's legalized recreationally, but 1 year, 2 years ago, or 1 year ago, this was not recreationally. Cannabis was just medically. So people come to me if they need cannabis for whatever problem they need to see a doctor. But now people in Canada, they don't need to see a doctor. There's a store, you go, get cannabis and marijuana and use it. But anyway, cannabis is approved for neuropathic pain, like for chronic pain. It can help people with cancer, like I have lots of my patients have cancer, they are dying because of chemotherapy and the spread of cancer and they have lots of pain, I give them medical marijuana. Okay. I have people with MS, multiple sclerosis. They have lots of spasm and lots of pain, I give them medical marijuana. I have people with chronic migraine that is resistant to so many things. They can respond to medical marijuana. Okay. But what about you? Okay, do you have any of this?
I can respond to medical marijuana.
No, so we use medical marijuana as a medicine, as a last resort after we try tons of things. No, and why you don't put it the first option? It feels good. Yeah, because there is not enough study showing what would be the long-term effect. And there is lots of study showing that marijuana can trigger schizophrenia. So if you have, psychosis. Yeah, so if you have genetic predisposition to psychosis or schizophrenia, marijuana can trigger. Another thing, I told you after any high there is what? Low. I have seen marijuana triggering depression. If you have genetic predisposition to depression, you use marijuana for a month, you feel good, you get high, and then you try to stop for whatever, because there is tolerance too. If you smoke 1 gram of marijuana today, okay, in 2 months you will be smoking like 3 grams a day. Okay, then at certain level you cannot be functioning. Okay, so you decide to stop. When you decide to stop, the curve will go down. And then when you go down, the problem, you will not go to baseline. You go down more lower than the baseline. And then at this lower level, you can get like clinical depression and you will need treatment. So Abuna was asking about CBD. What do you want me to say?
We'll talk after.
I think you said it right. I mean,
Yeah, so, okay, with marijuana there is something called THC and there is something called CBD. Okay, CBD, this is a substance that work on receptors in the brain called the 5-HT receptor. These are the receptors the same that antidepressant work on them. So there are some studies show that people who can take CBD, they feel less anxious. But again, if this is the first line of treatment, no. And even in Canada, CBD is not approved to treat anxiety, even in the place where it is legalized and everything is open, you can do whatever you want. But it is not, as a doctor, I cannot give CBD for treating anxiety because there is not enough studies about it. But from practice, did you see people using it? Yeah, I have some patients. Do they get better? Some of them, yes. They look less anxious. But the problem, I don't know what's going to happen in long term. Because this is something new, I don't know. But there is CBD. But when people use CBD, they don't get high. And they can drive. Like even in Canada, you can, if you take CBD, you can drive. But the problem, people tend to use THC. And most of my patients who start with CBD, you find them using THC. What THC? This is the active ingredient in cannabis that you get you high. Okay, and it make you euphoric, like you feel good with it. The problem with this substance, and I'm telling 90% of my patients who come, oh, I'm gonna use CBD. It starts with CBD, then it ends up with this one. So stay away from this one, okay? Like stay away from cannabis and don't, I know if you go online and look it up, CBD or THC or cannabis, you'll find cannabis is good, for high blood pressure, for diabetes, for, for arthritis, for everything. But if there is enough studies about this, no. So I don't know if this is common here, but the same as alcohol. Is alcohol is good? Yeah, but if you take it, if you take alcohol, you feel relaxed. This is a sign that it is good for anxiety. Yeah, if you have an anxiety and you take 2 drinks of alcohol, you're gonna feel relaxed, feel good. Okay, but in long term, how it's gonna end up? It's gonna end up with liver failure. It's gonna end up with throat cancer, stomach cancer. It's gonna end up with dementia. You see, this is alcohol. Okay, and can I tell them what is addiction? What does addiction mean? No, we should stop. Next time. Okay, so I promise on Sunday. Yes, on Sunday I'm gonna tell you what does addiction, because this is my specialty actually. So I can tell you what does addiction mean, okay, and what trigger addiction. Okay, and cannabis or alcohol can trigger addiction. Like you can start I know some people can drink and they are fine, but some people if they start drinking they cannot stop. For multiple reasons, but it is a disease. So try to stay away from cannabis. Try to stay away from CBD. If you have a clinical problem, consult with a doctor who know about CBD or THC before starting trying this thing. Like in the city where I practice, yeah, I'm the first one. Like people when they have these questions, they come to me. Oh, based on the study, I do what? No, I have 1,000 patients. Okay, so I can tell. Even there is not enough studies, but I can tell from practice. Thank you guys for joining me.